So hello, Chris. Chris Garza is in the building. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing really good. Man, I am so excited to have you here. I've seen everything that you're doing. I mean, you are really flourishing in the things that you, when I first met you, you walked through the door and it was like, I want to model, but I really want to act. But I know I need modeling classes because I know I'm going to take these photos and everything, but I really want to be an actor. But before we get into any of that, tell us who Chris is.
I'd say I'm a very optimistic, motivated person. Usually I like to set goals and, I definitely want to be able to achieve them within a set amount of time. If not, I don't stress over it. Not all things are going to come perfectly, but I say I'm a very goal-driven person, that's mainly about it.
Wonderful. So, I know that you get into acting. Were you the kid that, was doing karaoke, the one who dressed up like, everybody look at me, I am super whoever.
So this is going to be the biggest shocker, but all throughout school, I'd say until my sophomore year, I was the shy kid. Yeah. I didn't talk to anybody. I was always, not awkward to where it was weird, but I was just shy around people. And then I'd say my junior year of high school, that's when I broke out of my shell and just started being the spontaneous person, optimistic, I was making friends here and there, got to fit in with this group, no problem. And so it was definitely a big shocker to people whenever I popped out of my shell like that.
I think that's with all the shy kids. Every person that is doing big things and starting to do big things, they were always the shy kid. I think it's more, and I'm sure you can probably understand when I say this, it was more of an observation that you were doing of everyone else.
Yes.
And taking in how they react to certain different things. Everyone does that. Okay. All right. So of all things, there's doctors, lawyers, firefighters. Why acting?
Okay. So originally I was, like you said, I did want to get into modeling. I just always thought it was so fascinating, to see yourself on a poster, in a store or somewhere. I always thought it was the neatest thing. So I did take the acting classes. I loved them. And then that's when I got into the acting instructions. And I started, taking those classes, learning about acting. At first, I wasn't too passionate about it. I was just like, let me try it out, see if I like it. And then I think what instantly clicked for me is whenever I got brought to my first film set and I got to see how everything operates. And that's what lit the light bulb for me. And that's what definitely made me want to get into acting. And then, throughout my childhood, I always like to play little characters, do voiceovers, stuff like that. So I'm like, there's actually a career where I can incorporate all of this and make that, a career that I can do for my life and, be passionate about it. And so I'd say that's definitely what got me into acting.
That's so cool. Because I know your mom, she's such a beautiful spirit.
For sure.
And then I met you when I had to school in the Murfreesboro area. This was right before COVID, when everything was good, and then COVID came down and shut everything down. But it did not shut down our passions. But when you came through the door, you were just a ray of sunshine. You was excited, you were eager, you was ready to take the class. What did you, and my class was just for models, of course, but what did you take out of that class that helped you with your modeling career now?
A lot. One was definitely the confidence building. It definitely boosted my confidence from what it used to be. I got to learn how a model does things, how they portray themselves, just walking anywhere, even if you're not on the runway, you're still technically modeling in a way. You're still presenting yourself, putting off a good ray of sunlight. And so I definitely picked up a lot. A lot of the skills I use to this day are picked up from what that class taught me.
That's so amazing. Because I remember you would do the walk and I'd be like, I'm going to show you how you're doing it now. And then I'm going to show you a couple of more times. And I could see it when you would see it the second or third time. You was like, yay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I look good doing this.
It's the best feeling.
So tell us where you are now with your modeling, your acting, and tell me about those headshots that you took.
So the headshots, those were amazing, by the way. It was with my agency that I signed on to. And so we got our headshots out the way. They came out perfect. I loved them. So I ended up using those as, my newer pictures and everything. Definitely got to update the portfolio, which is a big bonus. And so where I am today, So I've definitely progressed a lot. I've gotten a few short films out the way. Right now, I currently have a lead role in two feature films at the moment. And so then I have a couple show series as well. And those ones, I have some lead roles, some supporting roles. And then those are technically going underway. We're still filming those at the moment. And then I say my biggest accomplishment so far is I have a film in California that's going to be filmed in Sacramento, and I have a big character role in that. So that is going to be going into production hopefully sometime this summer. And so that's definitely what I'm excited for.
Heck yeah. How did you get in contact with those people? For like people who are getting their feet wet, going through the training, and want to be even just being able to go to California.
Right. So the show series, I actually got in contact from Backstage. I saw the film on there. Thought it was a great idea. I emailed the director. I was letting him know, I would love to be a part of your film, love everything about it. And so he sent me an email back, wanted an audition from me. So, I set up all my equipment, got my audition ready, filmed it all, sent it back into him, and he was like, great work, loved it, loved every single bit of it. And so he said I could definitely play the role for my character. And so he actually has 2 other films that he's working on as well. So through that networking process, I ended up gaining 2 more films just off of one director, which is amazing. That's why I stress to people how important it is, networking and acting and modeling alike, and just anywhere really. It can definitely take you a lot of places. And so with the California one, that one was that one was a little funny. So my mom's husband Thomas, he was actually down there, and he ended up meeting a film producer, and he's like, I'm looking for a Hispanic male for one of my films. I'm just looking for a specific type. So he's like, well, my son-in-law, he's doing acting and this and that. So he showed him my Instagram profile. He loved it. He loved the pictures. Showed him some of my acting reels. He loved it all. So me and him got into contact. We ended up doing a phone call for about like 45 minutes to an hour. Just talking about the whole film, the whole process of it, asking if I was okay with it and everything. And I was letting him know, I was like, yeah, I'd definitely be 10 toes down with it. And so that's basically how I got that film, which surprisingly no audition, but networking, that's the type of things that it can get you.
No audition, got the look, super confident, and now you've booked for 2+ movie scenes.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, how does that feel? Going from walking through a door, learning how to walk, taking an acting class, taking a modeling class, to actually now walking into the door of your passions.
Oh, it's definitely the best feeling, especially if you're passionate about it. And like for me, this is what I want to make a career out of for the rest of my life. Like this is what I'm set on doing. And so it's definitely a great feeling. I like to pick up on my roots and look back where I was then and where I am now. And I always like to be grateful for the opportunities that I've been presented, And it's like, people always say, you only miss the shots you don't take. So any opportunity I get, I make sure to jump on it, pursue it, because, it's better to pursue it and have you said no rather than to not pursue it at all and always have that thought going in your head of what could have happened, So I definitely go by that for sure.
I'm so proud of you. I am. Just round of applause for you. Like, this is absolutely amazing. Would you suggest people to take my class?
Definitely. Definitely for sure, yes. Love your optimism. It definitely brightens up the room with the class, which is already, a good scenery to be into. And on top of that, the way that you did the classes, the way everything goes, it's perfect. It really is. And so that's what helped me with my classmates, got to move things with them as well. And it's a perfect program. It really is.
Thank you so much. So is there anything that you would like to tell a young, because you're still young and up and coming, but anyone else, and I know you've touched on a little bit, but what would you like to tell them if they are just thinking about it, and let's say they don't have, because you have so much support from your stepdad to your mom to your family. What would you tell someone who maybe doesn't have so much support, but they still have a dream?
Definitely pursue it. Even if you don't have the support, you always have you, and that's one of the biggest things that you can have in this type of career, because it's not exactly the type of career that's going to kick off for you instantly. Unfortunately for some people it doesn't work out, but the passion and what you put into it is definitely going to be worth it in the end, whether it works out for you or not. That's the way I like to look at it. So even without the support, if you don't have any family, friends supporting you, you're always going to have fellow actors, fellow models, instructors, they're going to support you, whether, you're making it big or not. They're always going to help you pursue your dreams. And so I would definitely pursue that. Do what you want to do. I mean, that's all there is to it, really.
Yes, man. I thank you so much for telling them that. So, I want to thank you just so much for sitting down doing this review with me. Like, out of everyone that I've trained and everything, like, you are doing immaculate, and everyone else is doing really great. But I'm just so proud of you. I've had to get you here to do an interview.
For sure, yeah.
I had to get you here. Like, what is going on, Chris? You're everywhere. You came in there. I just want to make sure I grab you before you leave me.
Right.
But I'm so excited. Like, I'm proud of you, and for everybody who's watching, and then for everyone who is listening, how can they get in contact with you for more bookings? Do you have a booking agent? Give us the tea.
So currently I am signed on to an agent, or an agency to be specific. It was a year-round contract for me. It's about to end soon, and so I'm definitely looking into like more agencies. I ended up coming in contact with my agency because I got a message from one of the roles that I applied at, ended up connecting to the school. And so throughout the school, I took 30 weeks of classes with them. And, once I got done with that, I was able to sign on to the agency, look through the contracts and everything. By the way, I would recommend always making sure you have at least 2 or 3 people reading through the contracts. I would never read through it by yourself because...
First thing I taught in class.
Yes, that can definitely come back to bite you. So make sure, you have your mom, dad, even someone-in-law, if you know them, have them read through the contract. It'll definitely help you in the end. And so, everything worked out for me. The contract was all good, so I signed on to them. And how it goes is, they send me casting calls that are best for me personally. And so, I audition for them. If I get the role, I get it. If I don't, you don't. Move on to the next. Don't take a no as like the harshest thing, like within acting, modeling, you're going to have more no's than yeses. That's almost guaranteed. But those yeses are going to mean the world to you, and they're definitely going to make a big impact on you. So I definitely want to let the no's bring you down. And if it makes people feel better, I've had no's said to me. I audition for films, I don't get it. You move on to the next. Don't hold on to it. It is what it is. And so, there's many different ways that you can get onto agencies or agents. You either you try to find them on the internet, or you come in person with contact that they can definitely put you on with someone. There's just so many different ways for sure.
So does a person go through the agency to get in contact with you, or do you have another way to contact you?
So they can go through the agency.
Okay. What's the name of the agency?
So it is Model and Talent Management.
Okay, Model Talent Management.
So they can go through the agency. How it works is if they go to the agency and book me for a role, the agency gets a certain percentage of what I make. Mm-hmm. However, if I'm the one that goes out and finds the role myself, I get full compensation for it, all the credit and everything. Even with the agency, I'll still get the credit. They just take out a certain percentage of what you make, and it's always based on your agent or agency. So, always make sure, it's not too high of a percentage so that you're not getting robbed of what you're earning, So always make sure it's the best fit for you.
Cool beans. Well, thank you. Y'all heard it here first. Chris Garza, before he becomes Hollywood's hottest star out here. He went through the JCA class. Now he is signed to Model Talent Management. And of course, if you just want to contact him, you can find him on Facebook, Chris Garza. We'll make sure at the end of the video we tag all of his links, emails, everything to get in contact with them. And again, Chris, thank you so much for coming. And you guys have a great rest of the day.